Good evening, and I love you. I'm Heather Peterson Lockhart, and I am the Chieftess. Welcome to the Chieftess Chat. Tonight we're going to talk about current events, our energy and our health, and how to remain in the solution. And I am going to hang tight for a moment and sit here and let this pop up on my feed, since I said I was going to be here quite some time ago. And I'm just now getting here. You know, there's no ish button on the event thing. There's no, I'm looking at these things that are popping up. So this is new to me. Bear with me here. I guess we'll learn. I guess I'll learn as I go. How's everybody doing? I have an itchy nose. Happy Sunday. I love you. I said I was going to be here a little while ago. I'm still trying to figure out this schedule thing with doing this chat and how to be here in the most present presence. You know what I mean? Like, what time is good for me to be really present here and not, you know, not too tired. You know, it gets kind of late out here on the East Coast. So I appreciate your patience as I work out my kinks. And I just want to, spend some time this evening with some of you that I connect with on here and share some love. And I was just thinking, I know I seem sketchy. Hang on a second. I forgot something that I want to grab. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, dog. Where is my... There we go. Da-da-da-da. Bear with me. Bear with me. It does give me a chance to model my beautiful outfit. Everybody loves to see what I'm wearing. Let me show you. I have fabulous shoes on for the occasion. How cute am I in my little skirt? Check these out. Are you ready? Yo, I wear all the fun stuff. There's a big chandelier here. I look like I'm all like, you know, ducking and weaving. I don't want to nail my head on this thing. So, and I can't, I guess I could hold on to the chandelier for balance, couldn't I? Can she do it? Can she do it? Dun, dun, dun. Where are they? Oh, yeah. See, now you can see why it's a balancing act. Look at those mamma jammas. What? Yeah. I'm like 6'2". So I have to be careful. I have to be careful. I'm very Amazonian in my attire tonight. So, how's everybody doing? I don't even take in media, and I know it's crazy. So, with that, I wonder how all of you are doing. You guys might be surprised that I get really nervous before I come on here. So sometimes I have to steady myself for a second. Plus I have a tremendous amount of energy. I'm just keeping it real. So I made a pact with myself before I came on here today that little Heather could come here. That all of Heather could come here. And that Heather would present how she always used to do. You like that? You like that grammar right there? And not be afraid to be my absolute and total audacious self. So I'm gonna do it. So yeah, so I'm kicking a lot of energy. You know, I've always kicked a lot of energy, and well, time for me to step into that, right? So I thought we could start tonight. Gotta breathe and calm down. In fact, maybe that's what we'll all start with. So this is a love frequency bowl. This is a Tibetan bowl. I'm gonna hit this bowl and we'll take a few cleansing breaths. And then I have a song for you. I have some good learning for you. I have some calm for you. I have lots of connection for us. What else? solutions, inspiration. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Ready? And let it out through your mouth. Big breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. It has a lovely balancing effect. And it always helps me to calm down and feel happy. Again, that's the love frequency. And this is the Tibetan singing bowl, for those of you who are not familiar. They're all different. You know, there's bronze ones and crystal ones. And this, I believe, is ceramic. So, there we have that. And then there's so much stuff going on right now, right? And there's so many of us so caught up in our opinions or in fear or in whatever. And so I was really thinking about, like, how can I best be of service tonight, right? Excuse me. I think it's the nerves. How can I best bring the calm that I have to all of you? And so I have some energetic stuff to share with you today. But to start out with, I would like to invite you to join me in a song. I would like to invite you to use your voice to lift your spirit and to connect with me and all of those who choose to join us, watching this right now, watching it later. You know, it's a quantum process, the way we connect, right? It'll be those of us that are watching right now. It'll be those of us that watch tomorrow. It'll be those of us that watch in a month, and those of us so on. And it's really, really cool the way it works like that. And our voice is a wonderful tool. Our voice is filled with energy. That's why I'm so selective about the words I use and when I use them. So I invite you today and to lift your spirit and to connect with all of those who choose to do this at any time. So, are you ready? I picked a song that everybody will know the words to. Sometimes in our lives we have pain. We are, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend, and I'll help you carry on. And for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please won't you swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, 'cause for no one can heal those of your needs that you won't let show. So come on when you need a hand. Oh, baby, now come on when you need a hand. Ready? Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend, and I'll help you carry on. And for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So, Sing it now, sing it later. Choose to sing. Sometimes when you feel stuck, it is wonderfully uplifting. Thank you for joining me. And I'm afraid to, I was formerly, I'm wizarding my words, afraid to sing in front of other people. I've done it quite a bit, but I just share that because I do things that I'm afraid of every day on purpose. It helps me grow. All right. I'm going to give you 2 truths tonight. And I'm going to teach you a lesson. It's actually an energetic lesson. It's a lesson in the physics on planet Earth, right? In the law of attraction that everyone is familiar with, but I'm going to put it on today's current events. And I'm going to show you how you can be of the most use to yourself and to your community and to all of those around us. So the first one, for those who are seeking personal evolution, get your pen and paper and write it down. The first one is we are either the problem or we are the solution, and there's no in between. We are one or the other. That's the gospel truth. That's number one. Then number 2 is humans step into fear when we are afraid of not getting what we want or losing what we have, right? And, you know, if we could trust in a brighter day and the fact that everything is going to turn out okay and that everything is as it should be, then we wouldn't be stepping into that fear capacity, afraid that things aren't going to go right, or it's not going to turn out okay, or that it's also upside down, right? We should just be, we would pay less energetic attention to some of the goings on, because we would have this trust in the back that, you know, we know it's all going to turn out all right, but really, that's not really where most of us are, right? So, you know, the way that I work it, we all understand the law of attraction principle to a degree, right? Like, we understand, I'm trying to think about like, some of the, like the mainstay, it doesn't matter. Some of the mainstay, like, you know, everybody understands the law of attraction to a degree, but what we don't understand is that truly whatever's in our purview, whatever's in our consciousness, whatever we're holding in our mind and our heart space is what we're going to be attracting. And most often, most of us aren't really aware of what's going on in our mind space and in our heart space. We're aware of the conscious front, you know, the part that we try to cultivate, the part that makes goals, the part that says this is who I am every day. But we're not really aware of where we're sitting on a lot of things, right? And so the words that we speak, the actions that we're taking, they're going to attract more of whatever it is we're speaking about, whatever it is we're taking action about. So that makes sense on a fundamental level, right? But I'm going to explain something to you about what's going on today that I think will be possibly, excuse me, too much kombucha. Oh my gosh. I think it'll possibly be a different understanding for many of you. So in our upbringing and the way that we came up, we got taught to deal with problems in a pretty set out way, right? We got taught to put both eyes on the problem, you know, pay attention with both eyes, give it your full focus, commit yourself to the problem till you iron out the solution. I mean, maybe this isn't for each of you. This is my personal experience though. And give it all your attention, right? Give it all your energy. I mean, that's what a good human being does, right? Like, you know, eye center and totally in it, right? If you're devoted and if you're really here to help me solve it, you're going to give me your full attention, right? And we're going to pay all of our attention to every detail until we can understand it completely. And we'll probably talk about it more and we'll hash it out. And then we'll try to find a solution. And if we don't get it, we'll just go round and around and around, right? Because we're dutiful and we're committed. And we've been taught if things don't go the way they're supposed to go, then what do we do about that? What's a dutiful human do? You can, you know, depending on what it is, You can sign a petition. You can stand, sit in protest. You can boycott. You can, I'm trying to think. You can take, there's all these things that you can do, that you can take action against the problem, right? And we can form campaigns that say anti this and anti that, and, this isn't going to work and that's not going to work. And that makes sense, right? Right? That makes sense. And so, I give the analogy that there's two, let's say you go into a park, right? You walk into your park with your people and there's two tables. And the one table says, neighborhood watch. Find all the criminals in your neighborhood, right? And then the other table says, community gathering, bring snacks and hula hoops, right? Well, we've been taught that the dutiful humans should go to the, put in your time, go sign up in the neighborhood watch, and make sure you're briefed and privy and aware of where everybody lives and what everybody's doing and all of that. Pay attention with both eyes and both ears and all of your energy, right? And that might be, the community gathering. Well, that's cool, but it's kind of like frivolous, right? Like, this is the important stuff, right? Huh? I mean, that's the way I was taught, okay? So let's talk about this now in a law of attraction, energetic application. I don't know what's with me. If we go over to the neighborhood watch and we sign up for the neighborhood watch, and we get the lists and stuff, and we spend time with other people talking about the people that are the look at my Heather doesn't smash anymore though. Yeah. I'm such a dork. Anyway, so we walk over to the neighborhood watch table, and we sit with the other people, we get the list, we sit down, we get briefed, we study, we get really learned, and then we form the committees that are going to walk through the neighborhood at night. So each person will take their time away from their family and go through the neighborhood and watch out for everything and pay full attention to the problem. Okay, cool, right? That's totally understand that. Now, those people will no doubt at some point encounter some sort of the problem. I mean, inevitably, right? That's going to happen. Okay, cool. And then in the community gathering table, you bring your snacks and your hula hoops, and everybody goes with their family and they play and they have fun and they laugh, and some of them have so much fun and have so much laughing and enjoy the connection so much that they exchange phone numbers. And they get to know each other's families more intimately. And they get to be connected as families. And the kids start to know the other kids. And the families are able to help each other. And the community grows in strength. And they network. And they, if one of the kids is running around outside and their mom's not there, well, the other mom knows that kid. And she's like, I'm going to take your butt to wherever you're supposed to be. And then I'm going to tell your mom. Right? And there's more watching, awareness, and eyes on those families in that community than the other way. Not to mention the people are together, right? Energetically, they raise their vibration. They strengthen their immune systems, literally, by laughing, by playing together, by exchanging oxytocin, by feeling well, being together. I mean, they enrich their very biology, okay? Not to mention their family unit, the people playing with other people, having fun, whatever, okay? So networking comes out of that, and and they begat more gatherings, right? They're going to want to get together again. Maybe not the whole group again, but maybe there's subgroups that get together in their own communities, and then they bring other people in, right? You get my point, okay? So there right now are two tables with what's going on in the world. There's the table of dissension, and there's the table of compassion and connection. And each day we choose with our words and with our actions and our energy, which we want more of. And if we're watching a bunch of media right now and we're feeding that problem, even if we're not standing in it, energetically, you went to this table. But you could go to this one. You could go to this one. You know? I chose to leave her out tonight. Hey, you're on a pass. No, ma'am. That's not cool. We stand to enrich our community. You know, for those that, I don't even want to use these words, but I just can't think around them. For those that want to, we have a higher energetic, vibrational community outcome when we spend our time going to get our friends that might be all skin colors and get them together in a picnic and have fun together and learn about each other and let our kids play than we do going to stand in any kind of a protest about what's wrong, energetically attracting more of what's wrong, begatting the problem. It seems, we've been taught, well, what do people say? You want me to just not pay attention to what's going on? If you ordered something from Amazon and it's going to take 3 days, do you order it and then do you run out to the mailbox and go, well, damn it, it's not here? And no, you don't do that, right? Do you go out the next morning? They told you it's going to take 3 days, okay? And it's Amazon. They told you it's going to take 3 days. It's got tracking on it, okay? Do you go out the next morning and go, oh my God, it's not here? No, you trust it's coming. You trust the process, right? You trust the process. We trust the process that this earth, this planet is governed by an almighty, omniscient consciousness that sees things like this when we see things like this, right? And I'm not talking about the systems, I'm not going to go there with people saying, do you trust that system? The systems on earth, the systems in our government. I'm not talking about that. Because my God is so big. My God is so big that, I see the energetic outcomes of some really shitty situations in my own life and in the collective. Like I've mentioned on here before, that the energetic outcome of 911 was an outpouring of compassion so great that it vibrationally raised that of the earth and her creatures. Because there was, my dog is chewing on something. There was so much connection and want to connect and to want to give compassion after that event, that such a heinous event yielded a beautiful outcome, if you will. Things are changing on earth. They change faster as more of us become conscious of our own energy and how where we choose to put it affects us and the community. If we choose to call up someone and talk about the problem and write about the problem and spend all our energy on the problem, we are, attracting more of the problem. But if we give a minor amount of attention to the problem and more attention to connection, community, living in the solution, how can I personally do something today and be a person that increases connection in my community? How can I be of service? How can I do something to make my itty bitty community a better place? What am I doing? And then the other part of this equation that I wanted to mention is the part that's going on, you know, with the media in so many aspects. There is so much, you know, if there's a bully in the playground and the bully is heinous and the bully treats people horribly, well, what happens? You know, the bully usually picks one person and the bully does whatever to the one person, and then everybody goes and tells everybody about what the bully did and how heinous the bully was and how horrible the treatment was. And that makes the other people afraid to go to the playground, right? And then the story carries and the energy ripples out, right? And then that bully gets a lot of that energy. That bully gets a whole, you know, a whole persona and a whole a whole power on that playground, right? But what happens if the one kid, you know, if something happens and it is heinous on the playground, right? And it is heinous, but instead of going and telling everybody, those involved just decide that they're not going to go to that playground again because they're not going to play with dum-dum, right? And they choose not to tell anybody about it. Well, you know, that bully doesn't have that power without all the fear behind it, without all the attention, and without all the chatter, without all that goes into giving the bully a platform. I'm not denying there are situations on earth right now that are heinous. But it is my personal choice how much I want to feed them and how much I want to feed the solution in my own personal life and in my community. And so that's what I choose to do, you know, with my time in my life. I choose to focus on the solution. In fact, I rarely talk about the problem. This is kind of like as much of the problem as I talk about. But it's just because I remember when I was learning like these energetic principles and I was seeing things so differently. And you guys have to understand, like, I'm a person who has bucked anything and everything, especially systems on Earth. I have dealt with like many court systems for different things. I've been, you know, I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic that used to get locked up. I used to call the cops and get locked up. And I mean, I remember protesting, like, I would have people sign petitions in elementary school. I was that kid. In middle school, I was writing about debt for nature swaps and boycotting McDonald's because they imported Brazilian beef. Like, I just was always like that, you know. I was like, you know, debate girl. I like to have a fast mouth and be the first one to be up in it, you know. And so I thought that was like handling the stuff that, you know, the stuff that comes up as dutifully as possible and as well as possible. But, you know, if you guys are familiar with Abraham Hicks' teachings, that's a great way to put it. Abraham Hicks talks about the train of your desires and the train of observation. And so if you only have one engine, you can only power one train. And so if this train is the, can you believe? Oh my God, did you see? No way, I can't. Well, because they did, but that's the train of observation. But this is the train of like what you want to do in life, you know, who you want to be in life, right? And so if you're powering this train, this one doesn't go too far. But this one, you know, this one's always going. This one's always fuel. There's always shit going down, right? But this one's still going to go. But the less you power this train, the more you can power this one. It's not that this one doesn't exist. It's not that these situations don't exist. It's that you cultivate more of what you want by focusing more on what you want, you know? So if you want more community connection, then you go to the community connection table with your people and you connect and you create community, as opposed to going to the other table and talking about the bully and finding about all the problem, you know? So, there's a lot of disruption in so many ways going on right now. I know there's people that can't go home because streets have been closed and, you know, looting and whatever is happening. I just think it's a time for so many of us, I mean, where we can be so compassionate. You know, so many of us have things to give. You can always feed one more person. I mean, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but like, you know, even if you don't have any money, even if nothing, you can always feed one more person. You can always invite someone in for a meal. You know, we can open our homes in different ways. There's so many things we can do to be of service right now. If you have the ability, I invite you to reach out to your local community. If you don't know your neighbors yet, meet your neighbors. You know, you don't have to go up and shake hands and hug. You could drop a note off. You can write a little note card saying your name. You know, I'm across the street. This is my phone number. You can have a Sunday picnic in your yard. You can invite, you know, everybody to bring a dish. It doesn't have to cost anything. And everybody can bring a blanket. And you guys can get some, you know, everybody bring their own stuff. And you can have a picnic in the yard on Sunday and create more community and get to know each other. It's just the time, you know, for, I think, us to be available and to be compassionate. And to be conscious of where we put our energy, because we are the solution. We are the solution, each and every one of us. And the more we understand that and empower ourselves, and the thing is, empowering ourselves is probably different than many of us have learned. I believe it's focusing all your energy on being the most beautiful human being you can be, so you can be of service to your community. So the more, you know, the more we empower ourselves, the more we create a powerful community. So that's what I have for y'all tonight. That's what I wanted to share. There's you know, I think it all comes down to, our faith, and it all comes down to our trust, which, you know, faith is a funny thing, isn't it? To me, faith is like a track record. Like when people used to describe faith to me, I was like, I have no concept of that, because I had no real stability in my life back in the day. You know, I had nothing that was really consistent. So there wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of experiences where I did the same thing, you know, I turned it over, whatever, it turned out good. And so I built faith on that. So, you know, I had to trust other people, at first in trusting that things were going to turn out all right, that I was going to be okay, that, you know, that I was capable of living a good life and taking care of myself, you know, and that's what I did. That's what I had to do for a bit. I had to trust other people and their faith and their experience, because I didn't have any of my own. And I offer that today because, you know, I think that's where a lot of you are. A lot of people don't have any faith, and they don't necessarily have a lot of people that have a lot of faith around them. And that's not a great place to be in. That feels really scary. So I offer you mine. My God is mighty. And, you know, I'm a hard-headed case. You know, some of you don't know, I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. Like, I've been detained with a 0.416 blood alcohol level, walking, talking coherently, giving nutrition advice to the sheriff deputy that detained me. And I mean, the list goes on and on, but, I got some 24 hours. I got some time now. And I have a really beautiful life. And I have learned how to focus my energy on that train of my desires, on what I want, on the next right thing. And I've learned to keep the momentum rolling on that. And so I can keep that train rolling. And it doesn't mean that the other stuff doesn't happen around me. And it doesn't mean that I don't see it, feel it, process it. It does mean that I don't call up all my friends to discuss it. I don't get on social media to see what others think about it. I do what I need to do to find where everything happening in front of my face is a gift for my living, my loving, and my learning. That does not mean it always feels good. That does not mean it's always comfortable. It does mean it's always for me, and it's my job to figure out how to get my ass on the train, in line, and keep it moving. So I do trust that. But, you know, y'all would have to know my track record to know that that's a profound statement, because I have had like a lot of train wrecks back in the day. And so for me to say, like, you know, I have like that much faith, I mean, like audacious faith that all is well, and that I don't need to have my nose in it, that I'm actually best serving myself, my God, and all that around me by remembering that I'm a creative child of God, and I have gifts to give as long as I'm focused on them, as long as I'm maintaining energetic momentum and doing the next right thing. So, you know, that's been the way it's been for me for a few 24 hours now, blessedly. So it does work. It does work. And today I'm just throwing it out there because, you know, I know that when I was signing petitions and handing petitions around my school, this cracks me up. I was a firecracker. And pissing my mom off because I would be the only one that would not walk in McDonald's when it was her and multiple families and lots of kids or a team of whatever, and I had to be like, man, shooting my mouth off about crap. And then others came later, you know what I mean? You know, I really thought I was like, I'm taking a stance, damn it, you know? I'm doing the right thing for my cause. And, you know, the intention's good, right? The intention is good, but higher consciousness and more pure God's good energy flooding this earth allows for an evolution of action today. And that's the truth. We are capable of energetically choosing higher action that is more beneficial with a greater outcome for each of us and those around us. So I invite you to challenge yourself to create community within your own home and within your own neighborhood. And I would love to hear how you're doing it. I will tell you how I am doing it. I'm creating community in my own neighborhood by, okay, well, let me tell you, first of all, when I'm like little Heather in creative mode, I'm like an 8-year-old, like a super, super energetic, like 8-year-old. So, I have had great opportunity during this time while we have been home to like completely like heather out in my neighborhood. I'm laughing because one day I was out with one of my neighbors and we were working on a project, and you know, there's another neighbor up the street that he was helping us build on something, and I was like, hey, you want to go get him? And he's like, well, I'm going to text him. We're not just going to roll up on him like that. And I was like, oh yeah. You know, like, oh yeah, we're grown-ups now. It cracked me up. So what I have done is I have created an outdoor space for meditation and yoga and toning and movement and sacred circles and community gatherings and Sunday dinners and all things magical. And it's called the Fairy Forest and the Meditation Meadow. And for those that are local or for those that want to come for events, you know, check out my social media. I'm posting stuff on my YouTube channel, which please go there and subscribe, The Chieftess. And I'll be posting things here. So those that are local, we're having regular gatherings for meditation and movement and community connection each week. So, excuse me, you can go to my website and check the schedule. Or y'all can email me at chieftessliving@gmail.com. And then what else? But it's really a magical place. It's so cool to see grown-ups, like, you know, We forget to play when we get older. We get so typecast. We're like, I'm a this, I'm a that, I do this, I don't do that, blah, 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 right? And we get so boring, and it shuts down our energetic system. Bing, 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 bing. See? Right? You want to keep those charged up. And so when we're not playing, right there, right there, right there. Oh, look at it, it's focusing. Look at that, look at that. Let go of that. Now come back on me, come back on me. When we're not playing, our sacral chakra gets shut down. And we get all sorts of nasty stuff that can happen as a result of it. So it's really neat watching adults and kids, but especially the adults, come to these places and be like, ooh, on the dreamy lights and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just so much fun. It's so beautiful. So, and then, I planted a big garden. Some friends helped me, and we created a great big garden. So I'm choosing my word. Plan. I was going to say hope, but it's more than a hope. My plan, my intention is to be able, I have enough stuff popping from my garden that I can host Sunday dinners, and people from my neighborhood and from my community can bring a dish, and we have thank you, Dawn, I just saw that. We have enough space that people can eat outside and have plenty of space and still be together. So, because community keeps us strong, and oxytocin helps a brother and sister. If y'all don't know what oxytocin is, do your research, find out. It's a hormone released in your body from touching others. You can get it from touching yourself, by the way, and touching your pets too is good too. But you know, we just, some of this basic stuff, like this basic getting together, good food, laughing, good community, you know, healthy stuff. It's good for us, and we have, like, you know, I think we've fallen off on some of the most fundamental human connection, because we got so busy and so high tech. Depends on who you talk to. So, that's what I'm doing for my community. And, yeah. What else do I have to tell you guys? And the thing is, you guys, you don't have to have a big area to do this stuff. You know, you really don't. You can just totally, you can just open up your, you know, your yard. And like I said, just meet your neighbors, you know, just meet your neighbors. If you're not, if you live, if you don't have a yard, you know, there's common area at every apartment complex, and there's always a park. You know what I mean? So, well, this might not be open right now. That was kind of lame, wasn't it? Anyway, the only other thing I have to tell you all, strawberry watermelon booch. Look at that pretty color. Dirty glass, pretty color. The only other thing I have to tell you all is, I have to check which week in June it is. I'll get the dates up. I have a Mend Your Manifestation workshop. If you are having a hard time manifesting that which you desire, be it your job or your wealth or your health, if there's a hitch in your giddy up, we can find out what that is. And we can remove ahimsa. We can remove the energetic block, so that you can start manifesting as you desire. What happens is we have hurts, we have pain, we have unresolved energetic relationships in our past, and they get stuck, if you will, in our in our body and in our field. It starts in our energetic field, and then it'll manifest in the physical body if it's not dealt with. It will manifest in the physical body as discomfort and ultimately dis-ease if not dealt with accordingly, right? So you can find out where those are in you based on how, you know, which are, you know, where you are currently. And I have a beautiful process that helps you kind of meet and greet some of your belief systems about that, so we can figure out where your hitch in your giddy up is. And I love that term. And then you can start manifesting as you desire. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and comment on here as well. That, like I said, I have to check if that's the 2nd or 3rd week in June that it's starting. And I think that's it. I would just really like to hear from you all about how you are connecting to your community and how you're creating connection. And, you know, and another thing I didn't even mention on here, this is a great time to ultimately to be connecting to yourself first. You know, spend some time getting to know who you are right now and what really makes you tick and what you're really about. Then share that with your community. So, let me know what that is. I'd love to hear. And then please go to my YouTube channel. Like, check this card out. Please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll put the link on here after I get off of here, but you can just search the Chieftess and find it on there. Look at the card I just pulled. Oh, it'll be backwards. The presence of love will always cast out fear. That's what you call synchronicity. There you have it. So, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have questions, please email me at chieftessliving@gmail.com and get to know you, and then come share you with your community. It's time for us to connect and to be truly creative. I love you so much. Bye-bye.